Good morning. I call to order the meeting of the Philadelphia Commissioners Board of Election for Wednesday, March 6, 2024. This meeting is in compliance under the Pennsylvania Sunshine Act. The Philadelphia City Commissioners are a three-member bipartisan board of elected officials in charge of elections and voter registration for the County of Philadelphia. Each commissioner is elected to serve a four-year term that coincides with the municipal election cycle for mayor and city council. The commissioners set and enforce departmental policies to administer voter registration and conduct elections in accordance with federal and state voter registration and election laws. The city commissioners were created by the Pennsylvania Assembly in 1711 with a focus on taxation and held various regulatory powers throughout the centuries. The commissioners started maintaining voter lists in 1799 and took on more election-related responsibilities, but didn't emerge into its current form until the adoption of Philadelphia's Home Rule Charter in 1951. We will start off with public comments. Before beginning their comments, commenters shall state where they live or if they are not a resident of Philadelphia and that they are a Philadelphia taxpayer. Public comment is not an opportunity for dialogue or Q&A. It is public comment, a chance for you to tell us what you think. Each speaker will have 2 minutes to speak. However, I may extend the time at my discretion. Public comment must concern matters on today's meeting agenda. Finally, it is my responsibility to preserve the order and decorum of this meeting as such. Profane, slanderous, discriminatory, or personal attacks will not be tolerated. If you wish to make a public objection to a perceived sunshine violation, please raise your hand and I will recognize you. Outbursts will not be tolerated. Anyone wishing to offer public comment, please step forward. We will now move to a report from Secretary Bluestein for email public comments.
There were no public comments emailed by 9:45 a.m.
Thank you. We will now proceed to old business. We have a report from our directors of election administration and election operation, which will be reported by Mr. Joe Lynch and Ms. Stephanie Reid.
Morning, Commissioners. Our weekly sunshine update for March 6, 2024. For our voter registration report, we processed a total of 67,105 registration applications so far. Out of these, 5,650 were sent to us on paper. All applications are up to date, and we are proofreading and making any necessary corrections. Closing petition season, we witnessed significant engagement with 12 petitioners at Delaware and Spring Garden this past week. We are working with the Commonwealth Court on the petition challenges, supplying sewer operators as needed. For our county board report, we're still accepting mail-in and absentee ballot applications, and the deadline for the primary election mail-in application is April 16th at 5 p.m. Voters can apply online at vote.phila.gov. So far, we've approved 64,900 vote-by-mail applications, which is 10,366 more than last week's reported number. We've processed 40,579 paper applications and 24,321 electronic applications. 765 vote-by-mail applications are waiting to be processed. Of those, 0 are paper applications and 765 are electronic applications. For our election board report, confirmation calls and emails for board workers continue. We have confirmed a total of 4,830 board workers with 165 declines and left messages for 326. Additionally, we currently have 2,061 poll workers registered for training, with 950 poll workers registered for virtual training. So far, 2,884 have attended seminar trainings and 588 have attended express poll refresher training sessions. The online training goes live Monday, March 6th. The polling place unit have been confirming locations, and out of 373 locations, 360 have been confirmed as polling sites. All polling sites must be confirmed by April 3rd. Any changes after April 3rd will require a court order to relocate. We have encountered 12 refusals and 56 polling place changes, primarily due to rebuild and passover. Efforts are underway to secure substitutes for refusals and accommodate relocation requests. We have promising locations for District 1 and District 8 satellite election offices, which have been toured. Both locations are currently being leased by another city department. Lease draft phase are underway for all offices except District 1 and 8. Furniture has been delivered and installed in District 3. We're in the final stages of drafting policies and procedures for the satellite election offices. These policies will be presented to the Board of Elections for a vote at the next meeting. Thank you. That's all I have.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm pleased to address you and share updates from our weekly administration report for March 6, 2024. In budget and procurement, we have been making steady progress. We've initiated a purchase order for box truck rental and renewed contracts with Barton & Cooney for various supplies. Additionally, orders have been placed for staple supplies, and the renewal process for the ES&S contract has been completed. We've also posted purchase orders and sent them to vendors for appliances for satellite election offices and Power Moonlight. And additionally, we have processed a Kronos add-on for time clocks, which was approved by OIT. In addition, we're exploring professional services for vending machines at the election warehouse. In the realm of communications efforts have been made to ensure a cohesive appearance across all of our social media accounts. Updates regarding facilities closures have been communicated through social posts and website updates. Work continues to address the WordPress issue and access. Instruction sheets for poll workers have been developed, and updates to the Citizen Handbook are ongoing. Additionally, various social media content and graphics have been drafted and aligned, and in-house production of multilingual educational materials is commenced. Content for email newsletters is being prepared for public distribution, and policies for satellite election offices are being proofed and formatted. A digital resource library for the primary, featuring translated questions and office lists in 10 languages, is in development. We are working to establish a vetting process for bilingual interpreters. Designs and translations for poll worker recruitment flyers are also in progress. Regarding engagement, we've obtained approval to distribute election materials at Hung Vuong Food Market and GP Senior Center. Successful voting machine demos were conducted at various locations, including the North Philadelphia Development Corporation, and machine demos are scheduled this week at Friends Senior Care Center, the Philadelphia Fire Department, H Mart Philadelphia, and 99 Adult Daycare. Dates and times have been confirmed for voting machine demo events in the future at various locations, and a distribution event is planned at Friends Senior Care Center. Continued outreach to local businesses and senior centers for material distribution and event hosting is ongoing, with flyers on election materials, voter registration, bilingual interpreter recruitment, and community feedback being shared during events. Our Human Resource Department is continuing the process of hiring 25 Clerk 1s, 5 trades helpers, and 30 temps. As of now, we've made considerable progress with the following hires. 7 89-day temps have been onboarded, with 23 positions still open. 6 Clerk 1s have been hired, leaving 20 positions to fill. And 2 trades helpers have been recruited, with 4 positions remaining vacant. On Monday, March 4th, we welcomed our new Director of Communications and Director of Administration. I am working with them to get up to speed, and they will be developing processes and procedures to guide their work. Our current workforce totals 146 employees, consisting of 114 civil service employees and 27 exempts. Within the civil service roles, we have 40 Clerk 1s, 22 Clerk 2s, 14 Clerk 3s, and 11 trades helper positions. We're actively continuing our new hire activities and preparing for upcoming orientations to ensure a smooth integration of new staff into our operations. And finally, in information technology, successful installation and testing of satellite office systems has been completed, along with extensive wireless testing to optimize settings. Upgrades to electronic poll books are ongoing. Final delivery of Dell equipment is anticipated today, with plans for deployment and domain integration. Screening of candidates for technical support specialist positions is ongoing, and day-to-day IT support is provided, ensuring smooth operations. As we look to the future, I am optimistic and enthusiastic for the road ahead. I extend my heartfelt appreciation to all of our staff and every one of you for your unwavering dedication and commitment.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question of the Director of Election Administration?
Yes, you may.
In your bulleted administration report, you mention a concession truck. This is the first that me or my staff is hearing about this. What exactly is the purpose of this concession truck?
So, and I don't know if this would happen, so we're trying to find out if it's even possible, and then we're going to bring it to the deputies meeting for discussion. The goal would be to have access to food available around the election, but we would only do that with a vendor that has been vetted by the city. We are, in the interim, getting vending machines in the warehouse so that people at least can get that. And Joe may be able to speak to this more. I know we were looking at year-round having like drinks and basic snacks, but then asking if they could bring in, like during peak time, the kinds of vending machines that have like sandwiches and additional kind of food.
Thank you. I guess my confusion was that I thought the way that it's stated here, it says procurement is checking with Parks and Recreation regarding their concession truck contract for Love Park. So I thought we were...
I'm sorry, yeah, it was just confusing the way that was written. Yes, they are looking into how they do it with them, and then once we have more details, we're going to share that for consideration.
Thank you. One more thing.
Yes.
Since we are 19 clerk positions down and 5 more clerk positions were cut in our recent budget request, what is your plan for having these satellite offices staffed while being able to keep up with the surge in voter registration that we typically see in a presidential year?
Do you want to?
Commissioners, we would, as far as that would go, we would just use surge staffing like we did in 2020.
So we're going to use surge staffing to man the satellite offices?
No, we'll use the new clerk, the clerk ones that we're hiring, they'll be assigned to the satellite offices. And then people will use, and we'll also use surge staffing to help assist in the voter registration data entry.
Do we have a report on this, on the progress of the surge staffing?
It's still in its infancy stages for this election, for the primary. We're more worried about the election side, where we have to amp up having more people help us out.
But we can add a surge staffing report moving forward.
The reason why I ask is because I only saw the request for surge staff in one newsletter.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it makes me a little trepidatious about our success.
Yeah, I've been following up closely because of that exact thing. I don't want to misspeak numbers for you, so we'll have it in the report next time. But I talked to Gabby. What we did is did outreach to everyone who has done it before and made sure it got out to the row offices. And she said that we have exceeded the number of signups that we had last time. So I think as far as the numbers go in the sign-up form, we're not concerned, but I will get you more specific numbers for the report next time.
I would also mention that the budget for surge staffing, the budget that was approved, the surge staffing was cut.
Well,
Okay.
I'm sure we can, I mean, for the general election, I'm sure we can have more money put into that, for surge staffing. Also, I believe, to be honest with you, I believe we can take some of them people out of that satellite office to help out at Delaware and Spring Garden, because I don't think it's going to be as busy as people think. That's what I'm saying. So, if need be, we could take people from satellites to help out.
I'd just like to remind everybody, we had 5-hour lines in the satellite offices. So I think
That was during COVID.
I think they'll be busy.
Vice Chair, did you have any additional questions or?
I'm good, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sure. Secretary Bluestein, did you have any questions?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We will now move to the other portion of our agenda. Vice Chairman, I'm sorry, Vice Chairwoman Deeley, I apologize. Do you have any other business to be raised at this meeting?
I do not, thank you.
Secretary Bluestein, do you have any other business to be raised at this meeting?
I have none.
Thank you, Commissioners. Here are no other business. I motion to adjourn today's meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Bluestein, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Deeley.
Aye.
I vote aye. Chairman Sabir.
Aye. Motion to adjourn passes. Meeting is adjourned.